Well, hi everyone, I am back. This is Sizzle in the Middle and I'm Tracy Pattin, and guess who's back? Lisa Greenfield.
Can't get rid of me.
From MyTruthinHand.com, and well, we have to tell you about our field trip. We went to see the Craig Ferguson show last week. We went to see the taping, and
we would have loved to bring you along, but you know there are limits to what they'll do. It's like,
fun.
yeah, they won't let the cameras in for some strange reason.
You can't bring anything in.
They would be the ones filming it, so.
So we're sitting there waiting, and they have this whole thing of, you know, you wait and listen to the whole spiel about the show, and then we go in and we sit in the studio and waiting around and interacting with the people that are helping make the show happen. Mm-hmm. And of course, Lisa's on the end.
Well, we did have very good seats, I have to say.
Lisa was the star of the show.
Oh well, thank you. It was fun. It's funny how, you know, when you get used to dealing with people because of hands, I mean, I'm always interested in people and they seem to return the compliment. So we just started a great conversation with one of the people that worked there.
And that was after the show. So we were sitting there in the show, and this particular person was interacting with Lisa, and that was really fun. And she got a t-shirt, which
I was the only one who got a t-shirt. Yeah, I was supposed to bring it, forgot to.
So on our way out, we're walking out, and there he is. This was so cool. I got to see her in action. She went up to the guy and grabbed his hand and just started reading the lines. Now, and this guy's a pretty macho guy. He's not the kind of guy that's going to be into all this, you know, astrology and, you know, analysis of your personality.
Or at least not publicly, which is why I chose to do it in person afterward with only one other person there.
There were people around everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, but right there in the conversation, we did keep it a little bit more sotto voce, so that, you know, not everybody could hear, because one of the things that everybody can relate to is relationship lines. So I jumped in and
show them. Show them. I'm going to be this guy.
I was going to say, you know, well, I walked up to him.
Big macho.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I think I pulled his right hand out. It's like just grabbed it and we went right to the relationship. Actually, you know, at first we went to the heart line, which he had a very good heart, but he needed to practice asking for things.
And by the way, you should have seen, I'm sorry for interrupting, but you should have seen the look on this guy's face, because I got to be the observer. I kind of stood on the sidelines. The guy was so into this and so taken aback by your approach, by the way. Great way to meet guys. I mean, he was married.
Well,
so
he was married and happily announced that he was married, so this was not, you know, pickup, but again, it's a great connector.
It was.
But
okay.
Talked to him about his heart, and then we went straight to his relationship lines, and because he had made a big deal about being married, had to be honest with him that he had a second marriage coming. And that's what's so important, because you can let people know if they change their mind, they change the line.
I'm just thinking, Lisa, what? Let's. Well,
poor man, he never expected to see that at
marriage.
No. It isn't about breaking up the marriage. In fact, the goal is completely the opposite. The goal is to save the marriage, because my nephew had 2 marriage lines, and being the son of, you know, a divorced father, he didn't want that. So I said, you need to be aware of the way you're thinking, because you can change your mind and change the line.
That's such a great phrase.
He really put some thought and effort into it, and he came back and he erased his second marriage line in little under 2 years. Wow. It was almost completely faded. He didn't give the energy to being, you know, so private and being so independent and all of those things that he'd been doing. He really focused on how to be a partner and change that line. And that's why I was honest with this guy, because he had to have a little bit more information in order to help him get what he wanted, if that was just the one marriage.
So I think that is great. I mean, that's such a great example of in the field, and how hand analysis can be a great connector. So when you understand your hand and you get to understand other people's hands, because on your site you help people do that, right?
Yes, and we do mixers and different events, and we're working on other things that are going to put this information at your fingertips.
And it is a great icebreaker.
It's a wonderful conversational tool, and it's about them. You know, one of the things that a good dating coach recommends is that you enter their world rather than trying to drag them into yours. What better way than to take a look at their hands? You know, what better way, because this is their mind, this is their world. It's all just reflected in their hands.
I have to tell you one quick story.
Oh, good.
About
Please
this.
do.
A long time ago, years ago, I had this job it was at one of those school functions, those private school fundraisers,
Mhm.
and they wanted me to be this character, and I had done some acting, and so I pretended that I was this palm reader, and it was for kids, so, and teenagers too, though.
Yeah.
There's 10 to 16 or 17 or something like that.
Such
So-
an important age to have a palm read at, by the way.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
And so, well, and I've said before on the show that my stepfather, my dearly beloved departed stepfather, he did what Lisa does, but in entertainment, nothing
well,
in
it's still
depth.
good. It was information.
And he
Good
just
information.
had fun with it, so I learned a little bit from him. So I played this character, Madame Babushka, and I was all dressed up, and so I just started just doing the palm reading, and it was so interesting because I was making it up and having fun with it, but it was really an interesting way to connect. And I'll tell you what, the teenagers
They loved it.
You know how cynical teenagers are.
Oh, no. They
They came around and they wanted to know, they would try to test me, and they said, Madame Babushka, when's my birthday? And I would say, well, if you don't know, I
can't tell you.
What's your problem? You don't know your own birthday? So I would say things like that. But anyway, it was just a fun way to connect.
That. And it is. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering, I did take a peek at Craig Ferguson's palm.
Yes.
Well, let's just say he's a very creative and inventive man, which I think is already out there.
Oh, he's
I don't
so
think that's going to be a secret to anyone. But no, I'd have to take a closer look. I didn't have a good enough view to get the fine lines, but yeah, definitely a creative, very creative individual, very sensitive individual too. Gets his feelings hurt more easily than people know.
Yeah, well, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
And on that, we got to run.
All right.
And we're going to do more of these, right?
Oh yeah, we're
more
gonna do in the field. Absolutely.
So fun.
Yes.
So until next time, everybody, go out and get to know your hand. Go to Lisa's site, MyTruthinHand.com, and take that test.
You can do the freebie, right? And and go grab somebody's hand. Start a conversation.
Just grab somebody's hand in this next week.
Okay,
See
use
what
judgment.
happens.
Use good judgment there.
Yes. Check with your doctor. Okay, I'm Tracy Pattin,
And
and
I'm Lisa
SizzleintheMiddle.com, and we'll see you next